Hello, my name is Thomas Marinan, and I will be presenting on All CPU Meter. This is the general look at All CPU Meter. It is a Windows gadget that gives users live stats on their computer, their processor, their memory, and basic information about their current usage. This gadget gives you a look into both numbers based on the cores of the CPU, as well as a graph area at the bottom, which lets you chart out the usage over time. Right here I just opened up a program that takes a little bit of processing power, and you can notice that the graph is spiking both in the graph and in the numbers for Core 2. You can see I've been rising. Now that the process has finished, the numbers drop off and the graph reflects that in the yellow line there. All CPU Meter comes with a couple of customizable options, which we will explore. Here in the display options, you can turn on or off pretty much anything that you already saw in that main view there. The first thing we will look at is the auto processor icon. Without it, you can see in the upper left-hand corner, it is just a basic icon of a processor. However, when you turn it on, it'll be specific to the current processor in your computer, in this case Intel. The processor clock frequency, when it is turned off, you just go from CPU usage to the name of the current processor, but when it is turned on, you can see a clock speed, and that is a live clock speed. Next, you can toggle the processor name, and now it jumps from the clock to your memory usage. But when you turn that back on, you can see the Intel Core i5, which is supposed to be running at 2.67 gigahertz. The show memory usage number, when you turn that off, you go right from that specific processor into the percentage bars. And when it is on, you can actually see how much memory is being used, how much is free, and how much there is total. Then the memory bar, you only get the used, free, and total for your memory. You don't get the actual percentage, and it is also not in the graph at the bottom. And with it back on, it is both represented in the graph at the bottom and the bar and percentages in the middle there. Next, we're actually going to look at the graphs. When you turn them off, you just lose the graphs at the bottom, you only get the bars and percentages. And back on, you get the charted graph over time again. When we change the drawing style to filled, you no longer get the lines, but you get kind of this vertical bar chart, which doesn't seem to quite work as well, so we'll turn that back to the line chart, where you can see, again, the history of time. Now we will be exploring some additional options. Up top there are some options and also color. The first thing is in the additional options, we can turn the core temperatures on, which not only allows us to see what cores are being used, but how hot they are currently running. And those temperatures are individual per core of the processor, as you can see. There are a few additional options like the refresh rate, whether you get updates or error messages. But jumping into color, there are color codes for every single thing to be displayed. You can either select from one of the 18 predefined colors, or select color code, and using hexadecimal code define a color. Here we are changing the title from all Fs, which is white, to this FF0000, which is red, and displayed in that little icon and reflected here in the title. Then changing it back to all Fs, the small icon to the right will again go to white, and so will the title on the top. And that is all. Thank you.